In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 secret tips that not a lot of people actually talk about when it comes to building more muscle. And so the very first tip I have on here is to eat 5 meals a day with protein in it. Have 5 meals spread out throughout the day, so spread out your protein throughout the entire day in 5 separate meals, because your body actually has, if you don't know, 5 different opportunities for muscle hypertrophy throughout the entire day. So if you're eating 5 meals per day, it's going to basically increase your chances of recovering faster from your workouts and building more muscle. So if you spread out the protein you need throughout the day in 5 separate meals, that's going to be something you can use to slightly boost your muscle growth. Alright, so the second tip is going to pertain to your training when it comes to building more muscle. Now, to get the most out of your training, you actually want to train to muscular failure. This means you can't get a single rep with good form. Now, a lot of people will recommend you use reps in reserve, but especially for beginners, it's very hard to determine how many reps you have in reserve to failure. Get most of the benefits of hypertrophy training a couple reps shy of failure. While this is true, a lot of people actually don't understand what a couple reps shy of failure feels like or is for them. So the ultimate way to 100% guarantee you the optimal hypertrophy results is going to be go to failure. Now, this third thing is going to go along with training to failure. If you're training to failure, we want to make sure that you're recovering properly. So getting at least 8 hours of sleep, making sure your muscle groups you've trained to failure are getting at least 2 days of rest, right? So this is why I like the push-pull legs routine, because if you do your push day, then you have pull, then your leg day before you do another push day, which means your muscles are recovering for those 2 days that you aren't training it. And then you can of course throw in the extra rest day at the end of the week. So if you're training 6 days a week, push-pull legs, you should be able to recover enough, and you should be able to push all your muscle groups to failure, ensuring that you get optimal hypertrophy results. It is normal to be sore sometimes. The way you can judge if you actually need more rest is if you hit the next workout. Say I do a push day, I train beyond failure, right? I absolutely destroy my muscles, and then 2 days later, the next push day workout I have, if I actually have strength loss, that is a signal that I should probably lay off a little bit, maybe do a little bit of a lighter workout, or just skip that workout altogether, put in an extra rest day that week. Now, this fourth tip is going to pertain to isolation exercises for specific muscle groups. Now, when you're doing isolation exercises, especially with calisthenics and bodyweight training, you want to make sure you're taking as much stability out of the exercise as you can. So this doesn't just apply to isolation exercises. This applies to stuff like handstand push-ups. Say you're doing regular handstand push-ups. Now, if you try to push those regular handstand push-ups to failure, you're actually going to lose your balance before you actually hit true muscular failure. So a good thing to do to take the stability factor out of exercise is to actually take the handstand push-up and put them against the wall. And it makes it a lot more effective to hit muscular failure, true muscular failure. Now, of course, there is place for your training of your skills, but when it comes to hypertrophy and building muscle, you actually want to take stability factors out of the equation instead of putting the stability factors into the exercise, if that makes sense. So this final point is a point that I don't think is talked about often enough, and that is stress management. Now, if you're highly stressed, that's actually going to raise your cortisol levels in your blood, and cortisol is something that can actually hold back your gains. Now, you're still going to make gains, but cortisol is something that can actually, again, hinder your gains and hinder your recovery. So what can you do to reduce stress? You can do things like avoiding toxic, negative people, okay, avoiding drama, literally cut people off if you have to. Now, this might sound harsh, but ultimately your peace is definitely worth it. Now, of course, some things are unavoidable. Stress is unavoidable in daily life, so you want to get good at managing your stress. Good things to do to manage your stress is get better time management skills, doing the things you know you need to do, meditation, massage. There's a bunch of other different things you can do to reduce your stress that can be very relaxing. So basically, you want to take some time for yourself.